Hey Money Posters, welcome back to another video. Today let's talk all about how to compose and price packages and also how taxes work as a freelancer. Now, why should you even care about all of this? Well, oftentimes freelancers aren't as thorough financially, and that can sometimes come back to bite and kick them later. You definitely don't want to do that. So even if you're just starting out, you can be a thorough, above reproach freelancer who does things well and by the book. And trust me when I say that a client knows when you are a true professional. So let's jump in and leave those financially amateur ways behind us. Our last video was all about the pros and cons of charging an hourly rate, charging by project, or charging on a monthly basis. If you missed that video, no worries. You can start your journey with this video and go back and watch the other one. But after filming that last video, I realized that there's a lot more to say about making and managing your money as a social media manager. I could go on for days about this topic. And after 5 years and coaching over 500 social media managers, I have a pretty firm grasp on what it takes to thrive financially in this industry. And friends, I want the same for you. That's why I am 100% dedicated to giving you all the info that you need to succeed. So let's dive right in. So your questions might include, how do I decide what to include a package? Or how do I go about pricing my packages? These are some of the most FAQ questions that I get on the Mariposa University Instagram page, which by the way is also filled with a ton of value for social media managers. So if you don't already, definitely go like and follow us on Instagram at Mariposa University. But before I answer those questions, let me just first explain why offering packages is a great idea for your business. So look at it this way. When you go to Chick-fil-A, one of my personal favorites, you don't just get the delicious chicken sandwich without the golden brown waffle fries and the diet lemonade. No, you don't do that. You ask for the combo because it's a much better deal and because you don't have to think too much about all of the details. Overall, it's just an easier choice and somebody did the mental work for you in putting it together. Similar to us Chick-fil-A lovers, your potential clients are on the hunt for a good deal with the best value without compromising the quality. And composing some packages for them to choose from enables you to offer them exactly that. So how do you decide on what combos or menu items to offer? Or better yet, how do you decide which services to include in your packages? Well, that's all up to you and what services you're confident in selling. Are you an expert at Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok? Awesome. Can you build websites in your sleep? Do you just know how to grow and nurture an email list? These are all examples of services you can offer in your packages. And that's really just the tip of the iceberg. But when it comes to deciding what value your packages should have, there's a general structure to abide by. Before I get into it, I wanted to let you know that I have all of this info in writing, plus everything else you need to build a solid foundation for your social media business in a helpful, comprehensive, free guide. The link to this guide is in the description of this video, and I promise you it is 100% free. Go get yours now. Okay, back to the video. Now here is how you should structure your packages. Offer 3 packages. Package 1 should be small but robust. Maybe you offer to manage their Instagram and Facebook pages, for example. It's nothing crazy, but it's a good option for somebody who maybe doesn't have a ton of money to throw around, but they still want to put their best foot forward. Now, package 2 is the one you're really trying to sell. You want to offer quite a few more services than you did in package 1, and for that reason, the price should be a good deal higher than package 1 as well. Package 2 is the sweet spot. This package should definitely include pretty much everything your client needs in order to have a thriving social media presence. Now, package 3 should be slightly more valuable than package 2 and a little bit higher in price. Package 3 is for the potential clients who don't mind spending a little extra for a little bit more support. Package 3 also gives you the opportunity to put some add-ons and some extras of the things that they want. Maybe this is email marketing, or maybe this is managing their LinkedIn page, maybe it's a blog, or managing their Google listing. You can get creative here. Now, with this 3 package structure, your potential clients have 3 good deals to choose from. And truthfully, clients love options. I should mention that you will probably have 3 go-to packages that you modify slightly for each client, because you need to be dynamic and because you need to acknowledge that every client is different and probably needs something a little different than the other. Now to pricing. But how do you decide what prices those packages should be offered at? Well, I'm going to encourage you once again to do some research. As much as I'd like to try to tell you a one cut and dry number or even a ballpark range, everyone's prices are going to vary quite a bit. So sit down and evaluate your experience level. Have you been managing social media accounts for a while? Or do you have a lot of experience in a relevant field? Are you new to social media management and still learning a lot of the ins and outs? You'll need to adjust those prices accordingly. Look at what other social media managers or marketing agencies out there are charging for their packages. What's the competition doing? Especially if you're just starting out, make your rates competitive in comparison. Finally, examine all of your business's expenses and make sure that whatever you price is going to actually help you to glean some profit. Now, sure, it may only cost you $12 a month for a Canva Pro account to create content, but you need to take into consideration all of the labor cost that it takes you to be able to deliver that content. Then evaluate what price is really worth it for you to spend that amount of time. And P.S. I have a link to a free trial of Canva Pro in the description so you can save that money, honey. As we said in our last video, but it's worth mentioning again, make sure that you're making these pricing decisions with the knowledge that something is going to go wrong at some point. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Include a few buffer dollars to account for some of the unanticipated extra time and resources spent working for a client. Trust me, you will thank yourself later. And if you want to know the decisions I made that went into determining the rates for my packages that I offer through my marketing agency, I'd be happy to make a video on that as well. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you would like to see. What I will say is that right now we customize packages for clients as needed and we charge by platform. That is just what we have found works for us. Okay, now for the most exciting, riveting stuff you'll hear all day, taxes. And I'm afraid I have some not so great news. Taxes as a freelancer are a lot different than taxes as a standard employee. But don't you worry, I'm going to walk you through everything that I have learned about this. I do want to preface this part of the video by saying that I am not a CPA nor a formal tax professional. So please do not consider this formal or legal tax advice, okay? I'm just sharing what I have learned anecdotally. Now, as a freelancer, you will be responsible for paying your own taxes, including income tax and self-employment tax. And here are some things to keep in mind. First, you'll need to estimate your income. It's important to estimate your income for the year so you can determine your tax liability, or how much you will owe at the end of the year. This can be a bit tricky as a freelance income can kind of be irregular sometimes, but it's best to err on the side of caution and estimate high. In addition, freelancers need to pay estimated taxes. This is probably the most important thing you need to remember about taxes as a freelancer. Since you don't have an employer withholding taxes for you from your regular paycheck, you'll need to pay estimated taxes throughout the year on your own. This involves calculating your tax liability, that thing we just talked about, estimating your income so you can know your liability, and then making quarterly payments as recommended by the IRS. Yes, I'm afraid you heard that right. Freelancers pay taxes 4 times a year instead of 1 like standard employees. Probably not what you wanted to hear, but I'm here to tell you the truth, even if it hurts your wallet a little bit. But realistically, if you're being diligent about setting enough tax money aside and not touching it until you pay your taxes, you really won't feel a huge financial hit. You also need to make sure that you are keeping track of your expenses. As a freelancer, you can deduct certain expenses from your income, which can help to lower your tax bill. These might include office supplies, subscriptions, travel expenses, and business-related meals. You can find a full list of all of the business deductible expenses on the IRS website. Another thing to note, you may need to be paying state taxes based on each transaction you sell, called gross receipts tax. I say may because I don't know what state you're in, but for me, I'm in New Mexico, and I have to charge a tax of 7.17% on every sale that we make, and then I have to take that amount and pay that money directly to the state. This may look different for you, but definitely make sure that you look this up online so you can know the parameters for your state. Now, lastly, I would seriously consider working with a tax or bookkeeping professional. Freelance taxes can be complicated, so it's worth it to think about hiring a tax professional to ensure that you're maximizing those deductions and you're paying the right amounts. Now, you should note there are 2 professionals that can help keep your business finances nice and tight. One is a CPA and the other is a bookkeeper. Remember those expenses we just talked about? Well, you need to be able to monitor and manage your monthly books and make sure that you're tracking all of these expenses and your income. You will also need to make sure that your tax payments are paid on time and in the right way. Traditionally, it's the bookkeeper that helps you to do that. At least that's the truth in my case. Now, as far as filing your annual taxes, and planning around that, a CPA will help you to do that part. And when your business reaches a certain level, doing your taxes and managing your own books will be kind of out of the question for you. Working with a tax professional and bookkeeper is 100% worth the money. Trust me. I can't tell you how much my world changed when I hired a bookkeeper to keep track of everything for me, and when I wasn't doing my own business taxes by myself, which I should add, math is not my strong suit. I'm the girl who used to cry when doing algebra in high school. That decision changed everything for me, and it is 100% worth every penny. Now, you also might be asking, what is the best program to use to send invoices, receive payments, track my expenses, and all of that? Well, for me, that system is QuickBooks. I personally love QuickBooks because it's relatively easy to use. It's great for freelancers and small businesses, and it's pretty universally accepted by most bookkeepers. Honestly, you guys, I spend a lot of time talking about the money part because I believe in doing good, honest business. Freelancers sometimes get a bad rap because they're sometimes sloppy about the professional details that larger companies take the time to abide by. So my advice by somebody who's been there, create good financial habits now so that you can already have these in place as your business grows. Okay, so that was a lot of information in not a ton of time. You're definitely going to want to make sure that you save this video to your favorites playlist so you can refer to it later. And don't forget about that free guide. Link is in the description. You can download that for free and it'll live in your computer for you to refer back to forever to start a strong foundation for your social media career. And if you have any questions, we watch our comment section like hawks. We will be able to get back to you with an answer, and we guarantee that. And even after making a second video on this, there's still so many things as far as money that I've yet to cover. So let me know what you want to see in the comments. And as always, Mariposas, I hope you have a wonderful week. Next week, we are launching a brand new series called Working with Clients 101, and it's going to be juicy. So stay tuned. Until next time.